If you search for marketplace software, you'll see tons of tools and tons of opinion on what is best and what is not good, and it's honestly quite confusing. But here's the truth. Most marketplace founders, if they fail, they don't fail because they picked the wrong tool. They fail because they picked a tool that made them build the wrong thing too slowly, and they never reach the moment that actually matters, getting real transactions. So in this video, I will compare the main types of marketplace software out there, the pros and the cons, and I'll give you a framework so you can choose the right option for your marketplace idea. Let's do it. Hi, I'm Rasmus. I built multiple marketplaces and I've tested different approaches and I've seen what breaks when you try to scale. And after doing this a few times, I realized something. Marketplace founders, they don't need more freedom. They actually need fewer wrong decisions. So today I'll show you the marketplace software landscape and I'll show you what I would choose depending on your situation. The reason why this topic is kind of confusing is because marketplace software can mean totally different things. Some people mean how do I launch a marketplace fast? Others mean how do I handle payments and payouts to sellers? And it could also mean how do I build an Airbnb or an Etsy or an Fiverr or an eBay kind of marketplace. So that's also why instead of ranking random tools from 1 to 10, I'm going to break everything down into 4 categories. And then after going through everything, you will know exactly what category you will fit into. And the 4 categories are marketplace platforms, no-code tools, e-commerce stacks, and custom builds. And of course, here's the key. Every category has its upsides and its downsides. Okay, so let's start with marketplace platforms. So these are basically platforms designed specifically for building marketplaces, not just websites. And they usually come with the core flows that you always need on any marketplace. So seller onboarding, listings, transactions, admin tools, and a clear path to basically launching. And examples in this category are platforms like Sharetribe, Arcadier, and of course my marketplace builder Prometora. And the biggest advantage here is speed and momentum. And here I'm not talking about speed in the sense that you can quickly build landing pages. It's about speeding you up so you can quickly launch and get your real first transactions on your marketplace. And that also means that the biggest downside with these platforms is basically that you cannot customize everything on the platform because it guides you towards you getting your first transaction on the marketplace that you launch. And honestly, that can potentially be exactly what you want if your goal is momentum. Next category is no-code tools. And actually this whole category is very interesting because no-code tools, they can often feel like it's the answer to your problem, because you might think, okay, so it's a no-code tool, so I can build anything fast. And examples in this category can be platforms like Webflow, Bubble, Software, Zapier, and so on. And no-code tools are usually good for prototyping or proof of concept demos, maybe collecting leads, or maybe validating interest. But here's the danger zone though. Marketplaces are not just pages and buttons. Marketplaces are workflows, because you will need sellers and buyers, payments, approvals, disputes, payouts, messaging, refunds. So things become complex very, very fast. So no-code tools usually feel fast until you hit your first edge case. And marketplaces usually generate edge cases on day one. And the third category is e-commerce stacks like Shopify. And this can actually be a good solution for some specific marketplaces. So if your marketplace is basically multi-vendor product listings, fixed pricing, and it's fine just to have a standard e-commerce checkout, then Shopify can actually be a good fit. But if your marketplace is more like services, bookings, rentals, messaging first, approval workflows, then Shopify actually turns into a pain and you will have to do a lot of workarounds. So the simple rule is that Shopify can work if your marketplace behaves pretty much like an e-com store. And the last category is custom builds. And this is of course what people usually imagine when they want maximum flexibility. So you can build custom with a dev agency, or maybe you have your own dev team, or by using a boilerplate like my Speedbuild Marketplace boilerplate, which is for technical people to get going faster without starting from zero. So the biggest advantage here is basically flexibility, because you can build any workflow you would want to. But the downside here is the cost in time, money, complexity, and decision overload, you could say, because you will have to do everything yourself. And this can then also be where a lot of technical founders, they get stuck in building mode, so they keep on focusing on building the next feature and the next feature and the next feature without actually launching and then trying to get their first transaction on their marketplace. So now that you know the 4 categories, here's then how you choose the right marketplace software for your marketplace. So I'm going to give you 5 questions that will decide the best marketplace software for you almost instantly. And I also made a quiz you can then go through after watching this video. So the first question is basically, what are you selling? Because for instance, a product marketplace is very different from a service marketplace. A product marketplace has a simpler flow, e-commerce like, whereas a service marketplace is all about trust, messaging, approvals. And for a rentals marketplace, it's all about availability, deposits, rules, damage handling. So if you don't answer this first, you will basically pick the wrong software. And the second question is, who collects money and who gets paid? Because this is where marketplaces become real businesses. And if you need sellers to get payouts, you now have to manage platform fees, seller earnings, transaction fees, refunds, and disputes. And remember that the second you need payouts to sellers, you're not building just a website, you're building more like a financial workflow. And the third question is basically trust mechanics. Because marketplaces, they don't win because of features. They win because of trust. So you basically have to ask yourself, do you need verifications, reviews, messaging before payments, moderation, dispute resolution? So basically, the more trust complexity you have, the more you would want a marketplace software that actually understands this. And the fourth question is all about how fast do you want to launch? Because speed isn't just convenience, it can actually be all about survival. Many marketplace founders, they think that freedom is the goal, but actually freedom can also create delays. So if you want to launch in just a couple of weeks, you should probably choose a guided marketplace software. And if you're fine with it taking a couple of months, then you can go for something custom built. And the last question, which is also the most important one, is, are you validating or are you optimizing? So validation means, will people pay for this? And optimizing means, how do I improve what already works? And always remember that validation is not about building, it's about actually getting paid. That's when you really validated that there's something there. And actually there's one more thing that nobody talks about when choosing a marketplace software, and that is the marketplace math. Marketplace founders, they tend to get excited about features, but they haven't really thought about the marketplace math behind it. So that's also why I built a revenue calculator for marketplace founders that makes this super clear. You basically just put in your commission rate, your average order value, and the number of orders that you expect per month. And then it will basically show you your break-even point and your monthly net revenue, as well as your yearly revenue, and also what will happen as you scale your marketplace. Okay, so let me just show you how this revenue calculator actually works. So let's start with a quick start setting. So I click on Airbnb, for instance. So Airbnb, they have a commission rate at around 12%. Let's say they have average order value of around $150 and monthly orders, let's just say, I don't know, 90, let's say that. And I choose what plan I'm on as well. So that's also important. So here I'm on the, let's say, the professional plan on Prometora, which is $89 a month and a transaction fee of 1.5% on all transactions. So you can then see here that your break-even analysis is saying that you need 6 orders to break even. So that's already really nice to know, right? So then you also have a goal calculator. You can add information here. So if you have a goal, for instance, of $1,000 in revenue, you can add that here. I'm not going to do that right now because now I just want to show you the transaction breakdown here as well. So you can see on each order here, so each order was 150. You, because your commission is 12%, you will then get $18, and minus the fee, which is then around $2, you will have a net profit per transaction of $16. You can also see down here that the seller will receive $125. Then you can see your monthly projections here, that basically your GMV will be $13,500 and your commission is around $1,620, and basically your net monthly revenue, that's important to know, right, is around $1,300, and also your profit margin is 9.8% here. So then yearly you will basically earn $15,000. But if you, let's say, have 200 monthly orders, of course all of this will change. Then you will basically make around $3,000 a month and yearly $36,000. So you can also see your revenue growth in a chart kind of style with different chart types. So here you can see you're at 200 right now, but if you had 1,000 orders per month, of course your monthly revenue would be much higher. And you can also see it down here in a table kind of view. And you can copy all this. You can also download it as a CSV if you just click here, or you can basically copy it into a Google Sheet as well. But if you then also want to add something custom up here, right? So let's say you already know that your commission rate is, I don't know, let's say 17%, and your average order value, let's say that's around $85, and maybe you, to begin with, only have, I don't know, 50 monthly orders, and you go on the business plan here. So then you can see here you break even with 12 orders, so that's already very good to know. You basically earn $14 per order, and you're making around $521 a month. So, and then you can see here, if you get up to 100, you will be making around $1,200 a month, and so on and so on. So I really hope that this helps you basically doing the math behind your marketplace. And this is super important because it changes how you make decisions. Because let's say your marketplace needs 500 orders per month to survive, then you definitely need speed and momentum and not endless customization. So here's what I would choose depending on what type of founder you are. So if you want to launch fast, get real transactions, and basically avoid wasting months, then you should choose a guided marketplace platform. If you're still testing ideas, building prototypes, and collecting some leads, then a no-code platform could be perfect for you. And remember just not to confuse a prototype with a real marketplace business. If your marketplace behaves just like an e-com store, so meaning standard products, fixed pricing, and a standard e-commerce checkout, then actually an e-commerce stack like Shopify could be a good solution for you. And if you're technical and you want full control and flexibility, then custom build can be the way for you to go. And a boilerplate like the Speedbuild Marketplace boilerplate can then save you a lot of time. And let me just explain you why I built Prometora, because it comes from the mistakes I've seen marketplace founders make again and again. Because most marketplace founders, they don't fail because they can't build. They fail because they built the wrong thing too slowly with too much freedom. So they spent weeks choosing layouts, filters, features, and edge cases. And it might feel like progress, but they never actually get to the one thing that only matters: real transactions. So Prometora is not a framework, and it's not a generic no-code tool, and it's also not a build anything platform. No, Prometora exists basically to reduce the risk, time, and uncertainty of launching a marketplace, and then scaling it, and then always keeping the founder focused and moving towards more revenue. So again, Prometora is for you if you are a serious founder, you want to validate and launch fast, you want a guided structure, and you want it to be able to scale so you don't have to rebuild everything again. And Prometora is not for you if you want full control over every pixel, you want a developer playground, you want endless configurations, and you want to spend months customizing your marketplace before getting your first users. And basically this is not a weakness of Prometora, this is actually built intentionally this way. Because Prometora wins when marketplace founders get their first real transactions on their marketplace, not when they finish their setup. So that's it for this one, guys. I hope that you liked it and it gave you an overview of the marketplace software map out there. And if you comment with your marketplace idea below, then I'll reply you with the category that I believe that you should choose. And please also check out the revenue calculator. I've added the link below. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. See you. Bye bye. Ciao.